Good morning, everyone here in Berlin, and for everyone watching online. Welcome to our Excite 2022. It has been just 6 months since the last Excite that we had last fall, and we couldn't wait to share more updates with you. And another reason to pull it forward into the springtime was actually to leverage the good weather. Hopefully we'll have it tonight for our beach party. So before we start, I would really like to ask you for a favor and give a big applause to Alexander Graf, my co-founder and CEO, who unfortunately can't be here with us today because of COVID, but he is watching us online. So a big applause for Alex. And I'm super thrilled to have our customers here with us, our partners, Spryker and friends. Today will be very much about stories. And we all love stories because they entertain us, they get us excited, they make us laugh. And we will have some very, very cool stories today. We'll have some love stories, we'll have some time travel stories, some personal stories. But we will also hear from our customers, we will have some product stories coming up later tonight. And of course, maybe the CEO of the biggest storytelling company of our times, Walt Disney, Bob Iger, will also join us later today. It all started 2 years ago when we set up the first hybrid event. And despite Corona restrictions, it was amazing. People really enjoyed networking, hearing about product updates, connecting or just partying together. So last year's motto was more everything. More product updates, more fun, more networking, more masterclasses, more inspirational speeches, such as the one from Guy Kawasaki last year, and of course, my personal favorite, the Terminator. So who have been here last year? So Lior, you have your answer? Lior asked me how many people have been here last year. This year, we set up this stage and this event to make it even better, to bring it to a whole new level. And, we have more than 400 people here attending on site, which is a record, and more than 1,000 people who sign up to watch online. This is really cool. In fact, it makes it the largest Excite we ever had. And we designed it around 3 main goals. First, to educate about our vision of sophisticated commerce, about our product roadmap and product strategy, to experience and allow you to experience firsthand our products, talk to practitioners, attend masterclasses, and of course, to be entertained. To be entertained by maybe the most successful athlete of all times, Michael Phelps, joining me on stage this evening, and of course, master mentalist Leo Suchar. And this is why I promise you, this will be the best Excite experience that you ever had. Let me start with thanking our sponsors, because to put together an event of this size and quality, you actually need good and trustworthy partners. And we have many of them attending and helping us here today. So I'm super thankful and thrilled to have all of you guys here. So please make sure to join the presentations of partners like Algolia, Deloitte or Accenture, to visit the exhibition area and the booths that we have outside of partners like Divae, T-Systems, Room, FarEye, Best IT, or Smart Commerce, and learn about their products and services. But also to spend time and network with some of the other 15 partners that we have here. Enjoy a drink with them tonight. Now, there is one topic I can't leave untouched today. This is Ukraine. I think we all have been deeply shocked and touched by the tragedy which unfolded in Ukraine. And not just as observers, but actually as actively involved people. Because we have people on the ground, we have people from the Ukraine. And the last 3 months have not only shown incredible courage of the Ukrainian people, but also a lot of commitment, passion and dedication from the Spryker Ukrainian team. Despite the hardest possible times for them, they continued to support many of you here to ensure operational excellence and to continue helping us to innovate on our products and R&D. So on behalf of all of us here, thank you. We love you, Ukrainian team. And in times like these, it's maybe more important than ever to focus on respect, on communication, and on mutual understanding. This is the time where values, DNA traits, and core beliefs actually matter and need to be protected. It's a time to stand together and not allow any room for violence, hate, or discrimination. Now let's do some time travel together and check out what happened at Spryker since the last Excite 6 months ago. Typically, I would start with a business expansion update. And as you know, Spryker was doubling, almost tripling every year since the business was founded. And since the last Excite 3 quarters ago, we doubled every quarter since last fall. So big shout out to our customers and partners. And we have also seen inspiring go lives, which is equally important because we are providing a technology, and when people are not using it, it's not worth anything. So in the last couple of months, we have seen very, very inspiring go lives around the world. We have seen customers like Aldi, for example, launching an innovative shop-and-go concept in the UK, Pferd launching in South Africa, Ben Engineering in the US, or Reddington in India. All of them went live successfully, and we are super proud and congratulate customers and partners for these successful launches. And to enable such a business and customer success, you need the best team in the world. And you know, we have been doubling our herd. You heard it from Guido and Yara since the last Excite. Had added hundreds of Sprykers around the world and added coverage in new territories such as APAC, South Africa, or the Middle East, while doubling down on the most strategic reasons for us, which is EMEA and North America. At Spryker, our diversity is our strength, period. This is why I'm thrilled about 3 amazing initiatives that our team has put together. The launch of the first Herd conference that we just had 2 weeks ago to celebrate women in tech was amazing. The setup and foundation of our diversity council that we set up and which started to work inside the company, and the diversity, equality, and inclusion hub that we set up to be the central place of all information and communication around this topic, start surveys and polls within this company. I'm looking forward to the amazing work that this team will be doing in the next months to come. You know, we are very thankful and truly appreciate recognition by our customers and partners. Now, there is another group which gives us validation, which is the Analyst Community. And in the last 12 months, all 5 leading analysts have recognized Spryker to be best in class, starting with Gartner, recognizing us as visionary, to IDC as major player, and most recently, Forrester to name us a strong performer and be the best fit for complex business models. It's a true testament for the amazing work that our team is doing. There is another very interesting trend that I would want to share with you, which is trying to bring in more objectivity and a scientific approach into the analyst work. And you know, sometimes we would all be a little bit surprised by the outcomes of certain analyst reports, aren't we? Yes. Got it. And there is a new initiative, a new independent initiative, which is called the CA score or composability score, which brings transparency and a professor-backed approach into this opaque market. Let's call it this way. So they try to evaluate platforms and technologies by 5 key metrics, such as composability, cloud nativeness, headless, modularity approach, and API. And Spryker scores an incredible 8.6 out of 10, which is actually the highest for all modern enterprise commerce platforms. So check it out yourself, and I encourage customers to use it as a reliable and objective source. Another way to get more objectivity in your decision-making process is the important customer review process and platforms that we see rising. You can learn about real experience from real customers, from real practitioners and users. So we are very pleased that we constantly receive best-in-class feedbacks from on the major 2 platforms such as G2 and Gartner Peer Insights. People still sleeping. I need Lior here to help me out. So since last Excite, we formed our first official customer advisory board. And we assigned and nominated thought and industry leaders from across our customer base, representing the different product lines, business models, and use cases. And I want to explicitly thank all customer advisory board members for investing time and effort with us, sharing their feedback, helping us to shape our roadmap, and to just make Spryker better. Thank you very much. And we try to do the same with partners by setting up our first partner advisory board and incorporate their feedback and the feedback from their customers into the product roadmap as well. So I'm very thankful to the partners and their involvement for spending time, providing feedback, and shaping the future of our product. Thank you very much. An important milestone we are about to hit is the completion of our ISO certification. Working with enterprise global clients, this is an important requirement that we are closing by obtaining the final certification this June. Now, let's talk about some product updates. And again, it has been just 6 months since the last Excite. And as you might remember, we are releasing innovations, new features, enhancements, and bug fixes on average 10 times a day. So in the last 6 months, we shipped more than 220 new features, such as configurable products, automatic upgrades, the enterprise B2B marketplace capability, and of course, the Spryker app composition platform. So let's talk about something which really matters to us, and this is vision. And you need to have a vision to be and serve as your North Star, because without a North Star, you are lost. You can't be everything to everybody. You need to be very explicit on what use cases you try to solve for who. And this is the educational part. You remember the first was education. So I want you to remember 2 words from my presentation, just 2. And for the person who will remember the 2 words correctly by the end of my talk, you'll win a personal meet and greet with Michael Phelps. I promise you later today, so please listen carefully. So let me walk you through how we think about sophisticated commerce and why this actually matters to us. You might have wondered what actually gets Sprykers excited in the morning. Why do we get up? And it's very simple. We want to enable digital innovation for you. This is it. And we share the same vision, all of us, which is we want to be the global leader for next-gen enterprise commerce. So how are we doing it? By ensuring digital differentiation for our customers, providing the platform designed specifically for sophisticated transactional business models. So let's look into what we mean by sophistication and how we define it. Let's start with 2 general market examples. The first one, being Honeywell, very well-known company, super interesting, large B2B marketplace, more than 3,000 merchants, serving as more than 30 billion aftermarket for aerospace spare parts, leveraging blockchain to establish pedigree of parts and fight counterfeits. Super cool case. And another one, Keyser Compressor, also interesting, predictive maintenance, pay-per-use model. They're basically charging cubic meters of air, or air as a service, if you want so. So really cool examples from the general industry we all know, and I think that we can get excited about. But how does it actually translate into what we are doing? Well, I'm very excited to be announcing and telling you about it. We are the global enterprise leader for sophisticated transactional business models. And we see all of it. We see hardware-enabled, IoT-based pay-per-use models, subscriptions, auctions, B2B marketplaces, unified commerce, in-store concepts, and more. Now, is there a correlation between sophistication on one hand and commoditization of an industry or vertical? And does it change over time? And why should you actually matter? Why do we matter? Let's have a look. It turns out that the same patterns apply in digital commerce for the 25 years, over and over again. Every new industry would start with being not yet commoditized, so commoditization is low, sophistication is very high. And over time, the level of sophistication goes down as more and more use cases are being built and more examples are being brought to the market. And you know, the interesting fact is that this trend actually applies for every new category, starting with simple categories such as books, fashion, or electronics, over furniture, cosmetics, fragrances, and now people are selling cars. We see more sophisticated use cases being built. And today, we as Spryker, we focus on manufacturing, on unified commerce, on groceries, pharma, medtech, life science. And all these use cases are still in its height when it comes to sophistication and not yet commoditized verticals and industries. So the goal is to ensure sophisticated digital innovation. And the same patterns you actually have when talking about business models, when you try to group them. For example, digital commerce mostly started for B2C. Today, B2C, or most of the B2C categories are commoditized, right? So the market had 25 years to learn what functionality to provide, and the users had time to learn what functionality to expect. So we are focused nowadays on the more sophisticated challenges, mostly in B2B, enterprise marketplaces, or unified commerce, and they might become a commodity over time as well. And then who knows what comes next? Maybe think commerce, as especially manufacturers are moving more and more towards usage-based subscription type of business models. So to sum it up, there are business models with low sophistication in highly commoditized markets. Not for us, right? Very well served by other companies. Wonderful market, not ours. If you want to remember something today, high sophistication, low commodity, this is where we play. Now, sophisticated. Does it actually mean B2B? Is sophisticated equaling B2B? In reality, there is no such clear separation between B2B and B2C use cases. In fact, you have more and more manufacturers, for example, building direct-to-consumer channels. Companies are evolving into becoming marketplaces from having had a B2C or B2B model in the first place. By definition, though, you could argue that majority of the B2B and marketplace cases would sit in this sophisticated commerce bucket. You would have a lot of oversection and overlap with IoT as well. And as long as the B2C use cases that we solve every day are digitally sophisticated, we want to enable them. And customers are asking us, are the sophisticated requirements, are they actually different from the non-sophisticated ones? Yes. And we see 4 main differences. First is, it's not that much about experience only. In commoditized markets, the key value proposition is to provide you with a service and an API and to allow you to innovate at the experience level only. You don't care what happens beneath the API. This is the key value proposition. This is not for us. When we look into what our customers are doing, they go way beyond building experiences only. They need deeper capabilities. It's not okay and not enough to just have a cart API which allows you to add things to cart, remove from cart, and change quantity and delete. You want to integrate services, you want to have influence on the price logic, you want to connect to the supply chain, to real-time order simulations, calculations, so it's much more than innovating at the experience only. We have to deal with much more data, not just in B2B use cases, but also in marketplace use cases. And of course, you need sophisticated, dedicated functionalities that you would not have in these commoditized markets, such as subscriptions, order management, pricing, etc. So let's focus on the second word that you heard me saying a lot, which is transaction. So why are we talking about transaction? And isn't this the same as commerce? Well, most people would most likely argue and associate transaction equals commerce. But there is so much more. We look beyond simple commodity transactions. We talk about marketplace transactions, subscription transactions, support and maintenance, auctions, peer-to-peer, training, services, etc. And Spryker wants to enable these sophisticated transactional business models beyond pure commerce. How do we do it? We provide you with a fully composable cloud-native application, which is composed out of packaged business capabilities that you can cherry-pick from. We give you as the only platform the full coverage of all business models from B2C, B2B marketplace, unified commerce, and IoT. Revolutionary approach to enterprise composition. You will hear a lot about this today. And, you know, the goal is just to ensure differentiation for sophisticated transactional commerce for all of you.